Do you ever record a podcast or a video and then you realize that the person that you're recording sounds like they're in an echoey room, or they were using their laptop mic by mistake, or you or they didn't have a very good setup and there was glass and there was big bright walls and floors without carpeting around them? We're going to show you a bit of a cheat code here, and that is how you can correct that with just a few clicks using this powerful program that I love called Descript and their cool function called Studio Sound. So here I am in Descript. I've got a guest that I've pulled in. Now his sound is okay. It's not bad. He actually has a mic and some headphones, but the room didn't sound great and I wasn't a super big fan of that. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to be able to alter it a little bit here in Descript. I've got my guest over here. And if I wanted to do any sizing that I wanted to do, of course, you can do that here, portrait. And if you want to do any resizing, you certainly can do that from here. But I'm just going to do this really quickly. And it's really mostly about the audio. What we're going to do here is I'm going to make sure that I've got everything selected. And so you want to go up here and you want to hit edit and you want to hit select all. And now we have the entire script of this particular person selected. And then you'll look all the way over here on this side, and they're all the way down here. You'll see audio effects, and then you'll see studio sound. And there's just a little check thing here. If you don't see studio sound, you can click on the plus sign and certainly find it from there. There's also some other things you can do related to the dynamics of the file if you wanted to EQ it. Personally, I don't use any of this, and then there's some crazy stuff that you might be able to use more for if you're creating social video and you want to do something crazy like a bit crusher function. So anyway, you want to go over here and you want to check this. Now make sure, is another cheat code for you, make sure you are connected to the internet. This is something that uses internet bandwidth, this and the green screen function. You want to make sure you're connected to the internet. You can't do this unless you are connected there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit Studio Sound. And depending on your internet speed, this then says that it's applying Studio Sound to your file. I'm actually in front of it as a layer, but down at the bottom it says applying Studio Sound to the name of the file. And you could see up here at the top, you'll see this little circle that's twirling. I'll let you know that it's working on it. It's not done. It will tell you when it is complete and it has done the Studio Sound function. It's going to take a couple of minutes, depending on the length of your actual interview. So I've moved myself over here and you can see as over here, it is applying Studio Sound. This will take a couple of minutes, so you'll be able to tell when it's done. I usually let Descript cook and do some multitasking, do some things in some other programs, some things I have to do. It won't take that long, depending on your internet speed, the bandwidth that you got there, and certainly the length of the file. All right, Studio Sound has done its magic, and now we're ready to hear maybe the before and after of Mr. Jeff T, who is on our screen. Okay, I've selected the transcript, and if I hit play, and it's playing at the 41-minute mark, you'll be able to hear what it sounds like with Studio Sound on. I'm going to click it off so you can hear what it sounded like before, and then I'm going to click Studio Sound on, and you'll be able to hear the difference between off and on, and I'll let you know. So now, as you can see over here, I've clicked it off. So right now what you're going to hear is what Jeff T, this person here on the screen, what his audio sounded like without Studio Sound.
You're taking everything as if you're opening a business and just throwing it all in this document that somebody's going to read and understand of how your business runs. So from a legality standpoint, I mean, ours is like 142 pages.
Okay, and now I'm going to click Studio Sound on. Now, once it's already run, it won't have to run again. It's now going to apply it. And here's the cool thing. Once I hit play, you'll be able to hear the difference.
It's crazy. That being said, it is sharpening the saw. So we had systems and processes.
Now, the thing that I realized is it basically took all the room sound out and basically took his voice and made it sound like it's right in front of you, which in podcasting, that's something that is important. You want to feel close and intimate to the listener. You want it to be up and close and not echoey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate between off and on, and you can tell the difference as we go along.
In place, and it's just like everybody else. Sometimes you set them and forget them just because you do them all day, every day. So
That's
when
off.
we were going to launch our franchise,
We took everything and put it digital.
And I'm going to go on.
So it's in the
cloud, it's online. And so everybody,
it's incredible the difference. But here is the other thing that you can do with, here's the other thing you can do with Descript as well, is you'll see right here, next to the on or off thing, there's this little adjustment thing, and it says effect settings. So if I were to click on effect settings, you can see right now it's the intensity is at 100%. So this is the most studio sound could ever do to the voice. Now, I will say this in full disclosure, Descript sometimes, because of the compression and the technology and the secret sauce and the AI and all the stuff that's used, sometimes it will cut off the end of people's sentences or words or something like that, because maybe they started to speak quietly, and in an echoey room, you might be able to hear that. But when we've applied this sort of technology, it might not. So what I like to do is listen for that kind of stuff, and then I dial the intensity back until those words are full. So it's not going to completely kill all of the room noise, which is fine. You probably should have a little bit of room noise. And it certainly doesn't affect the words that are said, which is the most important part of it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit play, and I'm going to start dialing the intensity back and forth, and you'll be able to hear that.
So go back and reiterate.
Okay, so we're at 100% intensity.
Process, and we do that every 6 months.
And now you're going to be able to see that I am going to dial it back.
What worked 12, 13, 18 months ago may not still be relevant. We might switch to software, which we just recently did. We might add a point of sale service, or we might add a new service line, or we might add something, or we might switch something.
That's at 77%.
The good thing about having everything now online is you can just go in, you can change it, you can push it out to all their franchise.
To me, and there was a bit of an echo that came in on this, but once I hit stop and play again, the echo seemed to go away. But I like that. I like the studio sound being at 77%. It was like not, you brought in a little bit of the room noise. It didn't completely flatten his voice at 100%. And felt a little bit more natural. So that's studio sound, and that applied it to just this singular track. So if somebody else was speaking, and in this case, the host, who was also on the podcast, had a great setup. So I don't need to add studio sound. This is something that I would consider a kind of a repair technology or plugin that you should use. You shouldn't always use this because, like I said, in some cases, people's studio setup and their recording setup is fine, and you don't need to do this because this will take that file and it will flatten it and it will compress it, and you have to be careful that it doesn't cut off certain words or phrases that people say during the podcast. Anyway, I hope this video helps you. And of course, if you want more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. We'll be creating more Descript videos like this, crash courses, really quick stuff on Vertical for you. You got any questions or comments, please let me know below. And as always, we hope this helps you.